So if that's the case, the plan is then just to get to 80. Do I still want Edian? Yeah, Edian doesn't have a skin. We need to skin Edian. Can we get onto Ninja Kiwi and tell them to skin Edian for us? And if that's the case, let's do this slightly differently then. No, I'll use, instead of having the the first strike sub, I'll just put a sniper, a cripple Moab sniper, and set it to strong. The Moab shov's really good, provided you've got something that can target them. If you don't, and you're just sort of pushing back into more Moabs and stuff, and it's better if you're manually steering it as well, and I hate manually steering it. Yeah, the Moab shrapnel sniper. I'll go with faster speed though, not the shrapnel. Although shrapnel's good for multiple Moabs. How you doing, Brian?
A great time.
Downdraft has been growing on you as a heli? Yeah, it has its moments. I've had to use it for a couple of challenges, and it, you know, definitely has moments. Hey, man, eating donuts. Okay, so if you're interested in that type of gameplay, they're probably worth it. Okay. I honestly believe, without even seeing how most people play, just how most people tell me they play, that they're not actually making the money they think they're making off farms and stuff. And other economy-based units. So, to know if they're worth it or not, it's not a feel. It's a calculation. You work out how much money you spend, how much money they make, and then if you're selling them off, how much money do you get back? Like, all this stuff can be worked out, right? It's no, you know, you don't have to sort of be like, oh yeah, it kind of works. I think it feels good. So there's definitely times where if you want to really push, you can get in front of how much money you should have earned by doing things. One, it's not necessary, so you don't need them. But some people want to play towers that cost more money than you're going to make. So there's two ways to be able to play those towers. Last longer in the game, which you won't, because instead of spending the money, you're saving it up for massively overpriced upgrades, because you want to play a really fun unit. So the only other way then is to spend that money on towers that you're going to sell, which means you have to save up even more money because you don't get full sell value back. Or start doing stuff with economy that can help you out. And I think for most people, they can mismanage their economy builds well enough. Whoops. To the point that they still end up making money in the long run. Usually nowhere near as much as they should have because, like I said, they mismanage the economy units. Because thinking is hard. Now, there are some people that, you know, I've spoken to about their gameplay, and they obviously manage their money units really well, and they get to do some incredible things. But for me, I don't want to be playing that sort of game. I want to play a tower defense. I don't want to play a business simulator. Yeah. Now, if you know that you're going to be needing to save up, your next upgrade is going to cost you a certain amount. Let's go 15,000. What other good TD games are there? Dungeon of the Endless. I'm going to quote that one sight unseen based on chat. Gemcraft, many of which are available free on the internets. Although it was Flash supported, so it might not be available free on the internet. I hate the micromanager banks, which is why I don't use the farm. Right? So one of the things you can do if you don't mind a little bit of micromanage, like you place a banana farm, collect the bananas for enough rounds to get your money back and then make some profit and sell the banana farm. Sometimes you don't make profit off the bananas. You repay most of your debt and then the sale of the banana farm for whatever you get for it gives you a few $100s in profit. And that way you can squeeze out an upgrade early. But I just can't be bothered doing that. I did try Merchantman Spam a few times. Hasn't quite worked out the way I wanted it to, but you know. Oh, was I popping this up? I think I was supposed to be popping this guy up. You're leaking. I wonder if I should be going faster firing or shrapnel there. That should have already been taken as well. Okay, let's Hey, Pep. Okay. Pepper's trying to get in so that you can get in and out before Chloe comes.
Oui.
You're not getting a second one. Come on, this You guys didn't let me die, did you? All right. Hey, Jaden, how you doing? A clear best hero? No. They have different roles. Like Oben is solid. Oben is probably one of the best early game heroes. He just can hold a straight line for so long, right? Quincy's alright. I think Quincy gets a bit of a bad rap. I don't know why. He's okay. Open scales well, yeah. But there's other heroes that scale better, like, or do different things. Like Edian, for example, gives everyone camo, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. I just happen to have a sub as well, makes it a little less useful. But you can also get villages. You know, how many villages do you want to have giving everyone camo? That's a decent chunk of money. Churchill is amazing. Like Churchill is super strong late game. Benji does a lot if you like playing with lots of monies and having more units than you actually need to win. You know, Benji's pretty good there. You feel like camo detection's easy cheap? It's not about feel, like it's numbers. If you want camo detection, you're gonna have to spend... Oh, I'm gonna get Grow Blocker anyway. Like it's 2,000. Sometimes you have 2,000, sometimes you don't. Plus you need the space for it, and it's not a, like it's a weird footprint. You know. Depends when you need it by as well. Oh, you also have to pay for the village. But the thing is, and so one of the things though is you kind of want to get a village anyway, if you can, because they do it does really good work. Like the just having it gives extra range, but the drums is really good. Yeah, or if you've got like a, you know, if you have a look at your primaries, if you end up with like a glue guy and an ice guy and maybe a cannon, then primary, like the primary training becomes pretty good. You know, I'm probably going to get the primary training anyway just for this. This is probably where Shrapnel Sniper would have been a little bit better, but these would be further along because he would have got so many shots in on the early ones, so it's tough to say.
Ooh.
So my choices now are get in something here. I mean, attack zone would be nice to as a cleanup, maybe. But then I've got to spend money on that, whereas I could also put a village and another sniper and another ALK up there. Or we hold out. I think if we hold out, we probably lose. And I don't think we don't have the time and we won't have the money to get that up. So we could probably just clean up here. Overdrive's probably fine for now. Hit it in with that. I don't care if I don't hit it in. I mean, we will when we go. I won't need grow blockers by there. So this is one of the downsides to strong, yeah?
Tracking BAV.
You end up hitting the the regular ones get through, and then when you go back to first, do I know the numbers on permaspike versus like 412? No, I don't. So Spike Factory is really hard to account for as well in games like this. Something that is only defensive loses a lot of value because it's the same as having a missed shot. Okay, now the reason is because every time when you get to max number of spikes for this like let's say if I put a Spike Factory here. Once you get to the max number of spike clusters, the next time it spawns one, it removes one. That's a missed shot. That's the equivalent of a sniper missing a shot, right? So there is a maximum density that a Spike Factory can defend against. Because once you've got, let's say you can protect against, make up a number, 100 pops. We know it's higher than that, but we'll just use 100, right? Once you have 100 spikes out, you don't throw out 101, you throw out the 101st one and the first one despawns. So you can only ever defend against 100. So if it's sitting up there for the whole wave, missing those shots every time counts as a missed shot, and then at the very end you get 102 balloons through and you take 2 damage. Or let's go with right now I get 146 balloons through and I kill the first 100 and then 46 go through and I die. It's lost damage, yeah. However, they can be crucial in some early games to protect against something that, you know, that you can't get another unit out for. I don't know exactly what, like something like the first camo balloon, because the spikes will defend against camo. What else do we have? Yeah, but yeah, as soon as you've started, the later you get in the game, the bigger the balloons get. So you kind of need bigger spikes, which means you need to invest more money into it. And if you put it up the front, it doesn't really do what you want it to do, right? As be that last line of defense. So So as much as I appreciate that they can save runs, I definitely want to be putting funds and resources into proactive offense. Ninja Kensei camo from the start. But again, early game, like when you're a really early game, that $500, that's a lot of money to put out there. Like if you're looking at getting an upgrade, like especially when like a Bloontonian sub doesn't really do much until you get the 4th peg. The 3rd one's kind of lackluster, right? Whereas as soon as you get that, that can really change your run. I guess it also comes more into play on like when you're playing on harder modes or like half cash. If you calculate 4-2 factories in the middle of the map, well, that's the thing. I don't know how offensive they can be. We've done a run with offensive spike factories, where we've had them right up the front. I think we did it on Mesa, where I had one up the front and it was splitting between both paths up front and had some up the back doing the same. That's the thing too, but the thing though, man-eating donuts, I wasn't saying get a spike factory because it's great. Also, like the ninja's going to get that first one because it's the first one. But the spike factory is going to, well, the spike factory that can then turn around and get lead a few turns later if you've done really poorly. But likely if you're using the spike factory to deal with the lead in that first lead wave, I think you've done something worse than get spike factories. Oh, I should be upgrading this. Oh, we'll upgrade that in a second. How effective are Moab spikes against DDTs? I'm not 100% sure on that one. That's a really good question. How far into it is it? Because it does spit out... The DDTs have ceramics in them, don't they? Man, I was doing some play around with Taxone earlier. It is pretty pathetic. But it did just get a nerf and does like half damage, doesn't it? Although, you know, Inferno Ring's amazing, but it costs more than twice as much, so... I mean, I'm just, you know, no poop talk, all truth. Taxone is cost efficient. I think it was cost efficient. I don't think it is anymore. But maybe previously the cost efficient, because it's got a reasonably high cost compared to the really cost efficient units. Maybe it needed to perform better, but maybe that performance was just too high. Beezabuzz, my dude. How you doing? Look at these guys. They're having a grand old time. I mean, we did it. Wasn't pretty, but we did it. The double hit point Moabs are a bit of an issue. with Cripple Moab stall, if you can farm stuff like Elite Sniper drops and if it's worth it. Yes, and you can definitely farm more. You have to. You just need to, because you're going to kill them though. Right? So if you've got enough stuff that'll stall these planes, you're going to kill them because you'll end up having more shots at them. But yeah, you'll be able to get more monies. I think also too, depending on how you've got your damage set up, you might be able to change these guys to elite mode, which means you could leave them on strong and they'll hit the BFBs while the Moabs are coming, and then swap to the Moabs about here. They're like Goose Game, yeah, man. They went back and I even did the speedrun tickets as well. But I did all the, like, when you finish the game, you get the extra tasks. That's cool. I think we've got no chance of making this, right? Yeah, I did the first 3 speedrun tickets on stream. Then I did I did an attempt on the final one, and I'm like, I was just too done. Like that was like I think 20 hours into the 24-hour stream, and I could just feel my timing wasn't right, and I couldn't think through the strategies properly. And so it was like 3 or 4 days later, I'd had a really good night's sleep, and I just loaded it up on the for the last ticket, and it took like an hour. I got it sorted out. Yeah, that friendly place. Panz Discord. We've got a command for that as well. Tax zone saves my life even though I was mean to it. Well, it should. That's what I paid it for. One of the things that the snipers is definitely doing is stalling enough to have this cooldown available regularly. What am I saving up for next? I'm going to see if we can get the Inferno Ring. I don't care if we die. We got to the rounds we needed to get the badge, so I just want to, if I can get the Inferno Ring, I want to see how well it does. Which is a hard judge because double hit point Moabs, but I don't think. Well, how much is big sub cost? Yeah, probably. Well, that's more than. Well, that's probably a little bit cheaper. Yeah, the old ice and fire combo. Bad's gonna be a terrible problem. Like, I've destroyed the bad in a double hit point one before. I don't know if we got the DDTs coming. I think I blew all my cooldowns to kill it, and I wasn't able to get the DDTs. Go Pirate Lord? Nah. Yeah, only the ZLMGs. I don't even know if its ability does any damage to it. I think this is going to be a trouble. Well, you never know, we might make it. Let's see if Taxi could earn its money now. Oh, the sniper's cleaned up there. Taxi did alright. Cooldowns are based on real time, yeah. So you could front load a bunch of stall. But usually for stalling up, like they do destroy stuff though. So you're gonna end up killing things. When is it? 54, okay. That's a really good spot to pop them. Let's use this cooldown nice and early and we'll have it again for next round. Well, I think this might be it. Maybe. Oh. That's clearly the sniper's doing all the work. Hey man with that hair, how you doing? Oh, you've got your trucker hat. Better get onto that. I probably should put the primary training on these two, shouldn't I? Do we even go mentoring?
Tracking ZOMG.
Increase range. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, so the money wasn't there. We needed 54, I think. Maybe I should have bought. I should have sold off something. Oh well. We got the badge. That's the important part. Tough. Yeah, I'll double hit points though, right? So you start getting like reinforced the Moabs. So it's pretty brutal. You probably could have done something to get it, but I'm not too fussed. No good hat emotes. We need Panz hat. I don't know if I want Panz hat.